I'm Professor Dag, and please enjoy these 31 tales from the creep.
Chapter 10. The Church. I used to sit in the balcony at church, and as the preacher preached a sermon, I'd always find myself picking up my Bible and reading in Revelation. The imagery is what captured my attention. The dragon and the king battling it out. The images of different kinds of animals that were depicted. The bowls poured out. The book with the 7 seals. All having something to do with chaos on earth. It was all really fascinating to a young reader like me. Of course, I'd read it at home, but the sermons were always boring, and I got antsy just sitting listening. So every Sunday I would read the pages of the prophecy. One Sunday I was reading in one of the chapters, and soon the sermon was drowned out by my imagination. The sky was darkened, and the roar of thunder could be heard while flashes of light lit up the earth. Rumblings of battles and screams filled the air, while angels' wings sliced through the sounds, and the blasting of a trumpet echoed into the ages. I stopped reading for a second to turn the page, and as I did, I noticed how loud the page turn sounded. I tore my eyes away from the book. Beside me was my friend, who sat and stared at me with a look of disgust. Confused, I turned to look on my other side. That person gave me the same face. I turned around to see the folks in the pew behind me looking at me the same way. I noticed everyone in the balcony was just staring at me, all with the same expression. I glanced down to the rest of the sanctuary, then to the preacher and to the choir. Everyone was staring at me, all their faces drawn down in contempt and disdain. Their eyes menaced towards me and burned into my insides. Suddenly, the preacher pointed at me, and 2 deacons came to grab me up, and I was brought before the altar. Without a word, I was brought to the front of the pulpit and placed in a chair. Then the preacher pointed towards the sky, and everyone looked up. Suddenly, a hole appeared in the ceiling. A bright light poured into the church, and a voice boomed loudly, "Give him to me. It is his time."